Discover the profound lesson hidden within this tale of a wise king and a humble servant. Learn how a simple change within oneself can create a ripple of transformation throughout the world. Find out what happened when the king realized the power of personal change. Stay tuned for the captivating story ahead. So let's start. Once upon a time, in a realm blessed with abundance and prosperity, there lived a monk known for his wisdom and enlightenment. People from far and wide sought his counsel, hoping to find answers to the dilemmas that burdened their hearts. One serene day, a troubled soul approached the monk, seeking guidance on a pressing matter. He explained his deep concern for the suffering that existed in the world, and how it weighed heavily upon his mind. "Dear monk," he implored, "how can we alleviate the pain and anguish that plagues our society?" The monk listened attentively, his compassionate eyes filled with understanding. He took a moment to gather his thoughts, then began to weave a tale of a wise and powerful king who faced a similar dilemma. In a distant kingdom, there once reigned a king of great wisdom, the monk began. With a heart full of compassion, he set forth on a journey to explore his vast domain. Yet, the rough and treacherous paths he traveled took a toll on his delicate feet, leaving them sore and weary. The monk paused for a moment, allowing the listener to envision the king's predicament. Then he continued, "Upon returning to his magnificent palace, the king lamented his discomfort and vowed to solve this problem for all his people. He made a grand proclamation, decreeing that every road in the entire kingdom must be covered with leather." The listener's eyes widened in disbelief, recognizing the immense challenge and cost that such an endeavor would entail. The monk, sensing the listener's concern, smiled gently and continued, "However, among the king's loyal and wise servants, there was one who dared to offer an alternative perspective." With a sense of anticipation, the listener leaned closer, eager to hear the servant's words of wisdom. In utmost humility and respect, the servant approached the king, the monk narrated. He proposed a different approach, suggesting that instead of burdening the kingdom with the tremendous expense of covering all the roads, the king could simply fashion a small piece of leather to protect his own feet. The monk's voice grew softer as he emphasized the servant's words, "Change begins within oneself." As the monk spoke those words, they resonated deeply within the listener's heart. It was a revelation, a moment of enlightenment that brought clarity to the listener's inquiry. The king, upon hearing the servant's proposition, was taken aback. The monk continued. The servant's words struck a chord within him, making him ponder deeply. After contemplation, the king realized the wisdom in the servant's suggestion. It was a moment of profound realization for him. The listener's gaze became fixed, eagerly awaiting the outcome of the king's revelation. The king acknowledged the servant's wisdom and agreed to his proposition, the monk revealed. Instead of changing the entire world, he understood that true change begins from within oneself. So, he decided to have a pair of comfortable shoes made for his own feet. A soft smile graced the monk's lips as he continued, "As the king donned his new shoes and walked along the paths of his kingdom, a remarkable transformation occurred. The people noticed the change in their beloved king, for he carried himself with newfound grace and compassion. Inspired by his example, the citizens, too, began to embrace the concept of self-improvement." The listener's eyes shimmered with understanding, as if a veil had been lifted from their perception. The valuable lesson woven into this tale, the monk concluded, is that true happiness and a better world can be achieved by focusing on personal change. Instead of attempting to mold the world to fit our desires, we should strive to transform our own hearts and minds. By nurturing kindness, empathy, and understanding within ourselves. Thanks for watching my video. If you like this, then subscribe my channel for more story.